Welcome to Coffee Meets Cloud, where three women in tech come together to share real stories about leadership, life, and everything in between. Join our hosts, Karami McCollum.
Oh, I love the voice note feature, y'all.
Cassandra Parker.
I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
And Rachel Rogers.
We have the power to change it.
Your go-to source for candid conversations and unfiltered insights. So, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and join the chaos.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The gang is back together.
Yay! All feels right.
Yes, we're back home. How are y'all doing?
Great. Here's the deal, Karami, Rachel. No, you guys are not allowed to take days off because it just doesn't work. So I've been the only constant in this crew, and it's not acceptable. So from now on, no more days off.
I did miss you guys last week.
I know Rachel would rather have been doing anything than what she was doing and rather be with us. So that one's a pass. Family stuff happens. It's life, right? But it's not the same without all the three amigos. Two amigos doesn't work as well.
Well, in my case, I was doing some much needed R&R, and it was chef's kiss. It was exactly what the doctor ordered. I just didn't get around anybody to the point that I went to lunch alone. I had my Kindle e-reader. It's actually not an e-reader. I always forget what it's called, but I digress. My book. I just went to a Mexican restaurant and had margs and chips and dip and birria tacos. And it was just, I was like, let me slow down so I don't have to call my wife to come get me from lunch. So I was there for like, can you imagine, like, hey, I know you're at home working all day while I'm out here living my best life, but can you come pick me up from down the road?
Because I've been solo drinking a little too much.
Yeah. Well, the problem was that I had such a light breakfast, and then I went for a 2-hour massage and had to wait for 45 minutes for my appointment to finally start. So I was like, I needed food.
You were hangry.
I was hangry, and then they are a heavy pour at that place. That was my first trip to that particular restaurant. But anyway, all that to say, it was just so nice to unplug. I hardly looked at my phone. I just read. So everybody needs like a half day like that, or a day if you can find it. Speaking of,
I'm doing that today.
Yeah.
That is my plan for today. I took a note out of Karami's book because work has been extremely not like stressful, but just so busy that you don't feel like you can get anything done, right? Like you're checking things off your list, but the list continues to grow. So I just said, forget it. And I need a PTO day, but then it gets ruined because I also have to go to Liam's school for a meeting this afternoon. So I can't do a lot of the things I plan to do, but it's fine. It's still going to be a good day. I had a facial scheduled and she had to reschedule that too. But, I said, look, if I sit on the couch and eat and watch Bridgerton, I'm cool with that. That's a good day if you ask me.
Whatever refills your cup,
Exactly.
whatever does it for you. There's no right way to do R&R,
right?
As long as it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But let me tell you about this school. I got a thing from his teacher yesterday in his folder, okay, for March, which starts, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it's almost March in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have this whole week next week for Reading Across America, and I'm just getting this list of things they're supposed to dress up as
We did too.
Single day.
I guess it's a nationwide thing too then, because we got the same email from the school.
And heaven forbid
at the same last minute.
Right?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Like, heaven forbid I send my kid without dressing up like his favorite character from a book or from like Neon Day. I mean, I'm just
We don't do it. We don't do it. Not because I have like some crazy stance on these things, but Rowan just doesn't care. Collier may be completely different, want to do all the things. Rowan could not care less. So I don't even ask him anymore. I just delete things like that and throw it away.
Liam wants to participate. So they did career day 2 weeks ago and I forgot about it. This just because he dressed up like a policeman for Halloween. So we already have a police costume and I forgot about it. Well, he gets home from school that day and he's almost in tears and he's like, Mommy, it was career day and you didn't send me in my policeman outfit. And I'm like, whoops. Well, Mommy failed. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you only have 200 other things to remember every day besides career day.
But next week it's Neon Day and dress like your favorite book character. There is a what do you want to be when you grow up day. So there's that. But there's like 5 other things. So I guess at some point today or this weekend, I have to go gather the crap for these dress up days. Never ends.
It's also really sad though, because not everybody can afford to do that.
Right.
And you really put kids in a really awkward spot that can't have those things. They can't be neon because they don't own a neon shirt and they can't afford a neon shirt. I really, really don't like that. It really
I've
drives
always
me
been
nuts.
very torn about all the stuff they do at public schools,
Mhm.
right? I mean, because what is that nice balance? You hate for it to be like a prison where they go and they just sit and do curriculum all day, no fun activities and things. But then to your point, how do they not, exclude or somehow ostracize parts of their
People that can't afford
population?
it.
Yeah.
Well, and I know like the teachers really do try. So I know that on like the last time they had a day, I think it was another neon day. They dressed, like bright for saying no to drugs. I don't know. But they provided them with like glow in the dark, like glowing necklaces. So if you didn't get to dress up right, you still got something at school. So they're good about that. But
that comes out of the teacher's pocket 90%.
yes,
of
it
the time.
does. And they
And
ask for us to donate things too, which is great. But
Yeah.
yes, a lot of times teachers can't afford it.
Well, when
It's-
they go ahead.
and I don't understand the value add to the education at that point, right? Like
There
it's
isn't-
one thing, right? If you're asking me to donate supplies for a science project or for, even Kinley School did a food drive for over the holidays. They were giving baskets to those kids that were going to be without for the holidays. So there was food baskets put together for those kids, right? And those kids didn't want to take those baskets because that
They
was
don't wanna be seen-
showing
they
that they
don't-
needed
yeah.
them. Right. And so that's the flip side of it too. Like when they're little and they, maybe they're upset because they couldn't do the thing, but then it turns into resentment, the fact that they
Right.
need the thing and then they don't want the help. And
Yep.
then things that they actually need, such as food, such as basic supplies, right? They're less likely to take because they've had this stigma that's been thrust upon them now that, well, now that means I'm one of those and I don't want to be one of those because
I don't
nobody
know
wants to, right?
why that teacher or that class did it that way. Most towns and counties have a food program where people come. Jessica used to do it at our old town, and we haven't found one here. They would pack what you're talking about, but it was offsite. It was a whole thing, and parents and others or teachers could like report families that they suspected, not report, that sounds
Mhm.
bad,
Yeah.
but like try to connect them, and they would deliver these things to their
nice.
homes. Yeah. But the sad thing was, that assumes that the child has good parents who are just on hard times.
Right.
In a
Mhm.
lot of these cases, they have neglectful parents. So not
Mhm.
only are they not really trying in some cases, but then if something is brought to them, they don't save it for the children.
Mhm.
Yep. Which is
Unbelievable.
horrible.
Or the address being correct. And that's really
Right.
where the kids live.
There's
And then it turns into a whole thing. There's no easy answer here, right? But I think
No.
it's not, I think there's too much pressure put on parents to do things, right? Even if you could afford it, you could potentially have the time for it, right? I saw this thing on Instagram the other day because I'm not a TikToker, but I'll Insta some
We're
stuff.
slowly bringing you to the dark side. I
You'll
know
at
you
least
No,
watch them occasionally.
Yeah, you
actually-
dabble in it a little
I
more.
Did you
actually
delete it?
deleted the app. Yeah, you're welcome.
Bro.
But on the Instagram, on the gram, they were saying how, the other thing is when you look at corporate boardrooms, right? And you look at a female who shows up versus the men who show up, right? Because there's obviously still a lot more men in the room and all of those characteristics. And a lot of times when you look across the table, all of those successful people have a stay-at-home parent at home versus the woman who's in the room, who's running the household, doing all the things for the kids, trying to do her own life, trying to do her own work, trying to, having to take a PTO day to go do something at the kids' school where a man would never have to do that, right?
Yeah.
And that would never be something that would happen. And so you add things like this where it's like, okay, pretty sure dad doesn't care if Liam is neon or not, right? Like taking on the planning of all the things that would have to happen for that to occur wouldn't be something that would even naturally come to them.
Right.
And so it's like you add all of those things on top of each other, plus the guilt of the child, because you want him to have the best experience, especially with everything going on.
Mhm.
It's so I want to say it's almost like a crushing workload. I mean,
Well, it's unbalanced. Like I disagree with you some in that I think it's important that they do things like this to keep kids excited about learning, excited about
Yeah.
coming to school. If it was only ever about the learning in the curriculum and they didn't do these other things, it would be even harder to reach kids. But to your point, I think it has and maybe every school system is different, but in some school systems it has swung way too far
but
to the other direction where it's become like their whole identity to have like a theme week every month or host some sort of it's just too much.
I think it's fine if they plan it. The last minute notifications, right? So like 100 days of school, for the 100th day of school,
Yeah.
you need to dress up with 100 things, right? Right now in Texas, I talked to my mom this morning. It's Go Texan Day. That happens once a year. It's on the calendar. You dress like a Texan, right? Those sorts of things, when and you've got all of this pre-planning period, you're not trying to rush it one night before or the weekend before. That's very different than adding a mental load onto a parent. What, you guys got 4 days notice?
No,
That's like
I saw
very
the email
different.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you mean until Monday,
Here's an
yeah.
important question. How does one dress like a Texan?
Oh, that's very simple. Get a cowboy
Just a
hat,
hat.
some cowboy boots,
Okay.
wear your
Because,
Wranglers.
Texas owns that whole aesthetic, like, no
I mean,
other state could dress
I'm
that
just
way.
saying,
That's
like cowboy boots,
No,
hats.
so, okay. Logistically, March in Houston, Texas is rodeo month.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
the Houston Rodeo, the largest rodeo. If you have never been, you need to go. It is nothing, you will never experience anything else like it. I guarantee that. It all raises money for education. All of the showing of animals, there's a lot of schools involved. FFA throughout the entire state is there. It is a very, very big ordeal. This week is rodeo cook-off week. So the week before rodeo, there's all the championship barbecue competitions that are going on. There's
Yum.
big cookout tents where you can go and experience things. Chef's kiss, literally. And this thing takes up the whole football stadium parking lot. Like, it is completely, there's so many tents, so much good food. It just smells. If I had to pick what heaven smelled like, it's probably right there. I'm
Heaven will
just
be
gonna
filled with
say,
streets of barbecue.
I mean,
Brisket as far as
is
the eye can see.
an experience. But so to kick that off, right? And all of the schools will do their spring break weeks throughout the month of March so that everybody can go to the rodeo. So they all take different weeks to go to the rodeo. And they have like every single night, there's some performer. It's 20 something nights. And they have like really big artists. It's not like no name people. I've seen Beyonce there, Chris Stapleton, and I've seen Garth Brooks. I've seen Brooks and Dunn. I've seen George Strait.
That's when Beyonce did that crossover album, wasn't it?
Don't even get me started.
No.
That is
No.
country.
Because this is when I lived there, right? So that would have been 9-10 years ago when I went and saw her. But
Texas.
they've got
Hold on.
wow. That ain't Texas. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's the Beyonce song.
Yeah.
The
Once that
you named off in that list, those were people I would expect to see at the Houston Rodeo. Beyonce ain't it.
But they always do an R&B night.
But isn't she from there?
She is. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
And
That's
the
the only
house,
reason.
the House of Knowles, which is where her mom's designer line is out of there too. So it's a really big deal. There's a show every night. There's some of the best bull riding you'll see. There's mutton busting. So if you've never done mutton busting, mutton busting's fantastic.
Cute too. It's cute.
You strap a child onto the back of a sheep.
I think
And
I've seen
then
this on
you
TV or
let
something before.
said sheep go. And whoever can stay on the longest wins.
We have
So
stuff like
cute.
that over here in Georgia, but
Mm.
it's usually on the back of a pig or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
I literally have
hog
seen-
I
time.
mean, that's a little different. A little different.
we're trying to listen. We're trying to do our own thing. Okay, we're trying to
I
find our
know.
own lane.
Trying to be original. In Louisiana, we strap them to gators. No, we don't. We don't. Just gonna clarify that. But yeah, no. So it's a big deal. So they kick it off with dress like a Texan day, and it's a whole thing. So this weekend
So
is
the point is
cook-off
like
weekend.
that you know it because they do it every year. It's like part
Exactly.
of the
It's
state thing.
pre-planned,
Yeah.
right? So like at the beginning of the year, if a teacher wants to tell me like, hey, we're gonna do this month, that month, great. That gives me time to plan, time to prep. I can make sure my
Yeah.
kid's ready. We can make sure we have a conversation about it, right? All of that stuff. But if you tell me the night before or a few days before, especially for something that's a week long, right? A week long is a big commitment.
When
If you
I got
think
it, I was
about-
like, next
Right.
week.
But think about how far advance notice they have to give you about a field trip.
Yeah.
Right. And they have to, because they have to get the forms signed. They have to do all this stuff. We should just,
Yeah.
if we do it every year, we should know the schedule. Just saying.
I agree.
You would think so.
Mm.
Okay.
That took us on a
I
tangent.
was gonna say there's not a good segue, so I'm just gonna pivot. I
I
don't
think
know
there's
how
tons
to
of
tie my
good
next point.
segues.
No, I mean I have another thing I was gonna mention to y'all. There's really no segue into that, so
No.
this
That's
is
I was
just a
like-
Just mention
cold
it.
pivot.
Go for it.
We were just
Okay.
talking about Jeff Foxworthy. It's fine.
I
Well,
was
that's
just
it. We wait on
no,
it.
no, that's coming later. I was thinking, whatever day this week, maybe it was last night because all the days were together. I'm really happy to be on the other side of annual review season, like really happy.
Oh,
And are you
we're
not?
not. No.
Oh, God bless you.
No.
Well, we are. And it's just such a strange, like to be on the delivering end of performance reviews and on the receiving end of performance reviews. I feel like it's just always an interesting place to sit.
Mhm.
But I saw this quote that I really liked, and I was like, man, it's like my TikTok is listening to my thoughts. It's not just listening to my words. It's somehow in my
That's
brain.
why you got to delete the app.
I'm telling you, there's there's something going on here. I'll give credit at the end of this because these are not my thoughts, but it said, if feedback ruins your mood for the rest of the day, it's not the feedback, it's your attachment to it. We don't get defensive because we are weak. We get defensive because we confuse correction with rejection. Someone will say, adjust this, and what we will hear is you're not enough. If your identity is fused with your performance, every criticism will feel like a character attack.
Wow.
And I
That's
was
good.
like, dang. So
That's good.
that was
Can
Resilience Rewritten
we add a-
LLC.
Can we add a caveat to that?
Sure.
It's Rachel, so of course we'll add a caveat to that.
Exactly. You're welcome. It depends on who's giving the feedback. That assumption, right, is that whoever's giving the feedback is in a position to truly give you feedback. A lot of people too disguise feedback as something they think they're giving feedback, but they're not giving feedback. They are giving criticism. And depending on their, like, you all come from a place of genuine coaching. You want to help somebody be better. You want
Right.
to do that. That's not always the case. Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I think part
true.
of that is you have to decide, is the feedback actual feedback? And so yes, it totally falls in the category you just said, and that is fantastic advice. Or sometimes feedback is, you know what? Yeah. All right. I'm going to walk away from that.
Well,
because
that
it's
she went
not-
on to say, I mean, I didn't want to have like a whole dissertation. I didn't want to like read her whole TikTok clip to y'all because I felt like it would be boring. But she did go on to say, you have to learn how to filter the feedback that you receive.
There you go.
You
There you go.
have to work on what is quality feedback meant to make me better, and try to detach your initial like gut reaction to it being less than great feedback to like
Mhm.
really parse through, okay, what are the subjective, not subjective, what's the opposite of subjective, but like the just true fact-based things about this
Objective.
feedback. Yeah,
Okay.
objective, that's the word. that I can think more on here versus what's just the emotional reaction. So not every criticism falls into this category. And I think every person is different. I know some people in my life who it wouldn't matter who it's coming from.
Right.
And we've talked before, like you and me, Cassandra, we've both said just based on the way we were raised and the roles we played as siblings and whatever else psychobabble led to the way we are, my value is wrapped up a lot in how I perform and show up for other people in my mind, right?
Right.
So
not because people have added that pressure to us, but
Right.
just the way that we've been raised. We are very similar in the fact that the way that we were raised was we kind of always had to be the good one or the one that performed or the
Yes.
one that no one had to worry about me because I was good.
Yep.
They were worrying about the other kids and the other
Yep.
family members. And so it made us a way in which we put a lot of our value as a person in what we can do at work or for someone, like the way we perform tasks and all of that
Yes.
stuff. So yes.
So I mean, even me, I find myself, whether it is feedback I'm getting in my marriage, which happens, or feedback I get at work or whatever, my initial reaction is I do take it a bit personally. And then I come around like, but my initial thing is like, it's like a gut punch to some degree because I feel like I'm trying so hard all the time.
Yeah.
That when I am made aware that I've the least bit missed the mark or fallen short, it's hard. But then I think with age and personal growth, I think you get better at it. You just get a lot more pragmatic.
Feedback in your marriage goes over like a gut punch. I don't care. Like even if it is hard to realize that you have let that one person who's your person down the most by not being now we can't all be perfect 24/7.
No.
There's always going to be things that we do to aggravate each other. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But when that part it gets so bad that your other person says, "Hey, you have failed me in this way," or I need you to do better on this, or however they frame it, it's a gut punch. I don't care who you are. But you do have to say those things because if you let them build up, same as at work. If you don't ever say anything to anybody, how can you ever hold them accountable for change if you just let it continue to ride and they never get any correction?
It will fester.
It will fester.
The resentment will grow.
You have to do it timely, though. I think a lot of things with people is they wait to a performance review cycle. They wait till a one-on-one. They wait till the marriage is blown up. They wait. And then you wonder why nothing changed and why nothing happened. I think that's also the trepidation that comes with performance reviews because a lot of people feel the need to put negatives in it because if I don't put a negative, then it's going to be too positive and that won't be a good thing. Or maybe there's a bell curve you have to hit or whatever it is with a performance review. Their companies have many different policies on them. But at the same point, if you're stretching to find a negative, then maybe it's more of a self-reflection point for you as the leader. And
I don't think you should be looking for negative, but I do appreciate, I try to look for something, not a criticism, but an opportunity for growth in some area. Like, because to just hear every year, you're doing great, you're hitting it out of the park. Okay, but then how do I have any professional growth? Like, I need to know, like, hey, you're showing some real promise in this particular thing that hasn't really been in your wheelhouse before. I think if you lean into that, that could be whatever. Or, hey, you're hitting it out of the park, but your communication could be like, you would show that skill and that ability a lot more if you raised your hand a bit more, like those sorts of things.
But that's still to some people a negative, right? It's still the but. It's still not a rosy review. And that's where, again, if you're stretching to find the but, or you're stretching to find the growth moment, however you want to phrase it, what we don't do as leaders very well is we do not take a step back and say, what am I not doing as a leader to be able to answer this question, to be able to find that growth moment, to be able to find that, whatever you want to call it. We then just sit down and you pick something very easy, like you should ask more questions. And I think some leaders cop out, right? And that is, it's nice to be in a performance review cycle where you have someone who's been very thoughtful about the feedback they're giving you, who has taken the time.
A lot of time.
Right. You're not everybody. right?
Yeah.
A lot of
I've been on the
people,
receiving end
right.
of some terrible ones.
I've had some
Right.
terrible ones.
Right.
I'm like,
And I
great,
feel
you checked
like
the box.
most of the people probably listening to this are probably in that other camp. They're not
Yeah.
in the camp of someone who, and maybe they have too many direct reports. And so therefore they
I've
can't
been in
spend
that
the
boat
time,
before.
right? Exactly. You've had to cut things short potentially because of your own time and own needs. But that's where, as a leader, you need to do that reflection and you need to think about, if you're stretching for the negative, you're stretching for the opportunity area, however you fill in that bucket, take a step back and think about, what are you doing in disservice to that associate? Do a 360-degree review, right? If you can't think about it, go ask somebody's peers. Ask them to give you the feedback to help you fill it in. Not
This
everybody does
year,
that.
I did that, and it was
Yeah.
a game changer because what I
Yes.
did was I sent out for my managers, I sent out a peer review of the other managers and their peers, and then I sent out their direct reports. I sent them a review, an anonymous one, and I got great, not even feedback. There wasn't really anything negative that came back about my direct reports. But what it did is, when I had my one-on-ones, I just pulled that information up and I showed them, look, this is what your team thinks of you. And it made a huge difference in their review because they got to hear candidly, because no one knew that I was going to share this, with whoever they were reviewing.
Yeah.
It just really did something for those individuals to say, hey, my team really does think I'm doing a good job. They really do appreciate when I do X, Y, and Z. And it makes you feel like what you're doing is not going unnoticed. And it makes you want to do that even more. So
Yep.
I think that peer feedback, if you have no idea where to start, create yourself a little Google form or, send it out. And that is the best way to start. Because if you're stuck as a manager because you got 30 direct reports, that's a great way to get feedback for someone.
Well, that reminds me of another thing I saw where I was like, oh my gosh, you know how Brittany told us that one time that she listened to one of the episodes and she just kept saying, yes, yes. That was me listening to this TikTok. It was talking about how skip levels are so important. There's a lot of leaders who lead leaders who don't do those skip levels. And the problem is, people are toxic down, not up. Okay. So
you manage up, not down.
Yeah. So
That's
you're
right.
not going to know that the leader that reports to you is toxic by the way they interact with you in a room or in a meeting, how they show up for you. You only know that by how they show up for the people that report to them. So if you're out there and you manage leaders, please do skip levels. Do not skip.
But
No pun intended. Do not skip that step.
And make them intentional. So the challenge with skip levels is, a lot of times it's every other month, it's infrequent, and that doesn't create the trust needed for that person to come forward about the toxic manager.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful in thinking, like, you can do a skip level, but if you're only doing it once a quarter, you're not getting real feedback. You're not getting what's really going on. You're getting a curated version that somebody feels safe enough to say without getting in trouble and without potential blowback. I think that's also on the peer review side too. One thing I've always asked people is, who would you tell me that you want me to go ask for peer review feedback? And then I intentionally pick somebody they didn't tell me to go pick.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the person that's going to have the real feedback.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, as I was thinking about, because I had jotted this down as one of the things to bring up for the show, I was thinking about going through the review cycle. I don't want to say I get nervous about having to deliver performance reviews, because like you said, there's no surprises. I'm not putting anything in them that we're not already discussing in our other one-on-ones.
Right.
I think what makes me a slight bit, I guess hesitant is the right word, is just never knowing the recipient's what their perception of their performance and how they may just not line up, no matter what I've been communicating, how I've been communicating. Everybody's level of emotional intelligence and self-awareness is different, and that's not something you can really coach. I mean, you can bring it to their attention, but I can't change a person. So in some respects, you can't control what they're going to show up expecting in the conversation.
Well,
And so you have to be prepared for them to challenge your feedback or your thinking. And I just am not a confrontational person. I mean, I will do it when I have to be, but I don't like friction. I like for everybody to just be kumbaya, which is not reality, I know, but
one thing too, in my new company, what we do is we break apart performance, merit, and promotion. They're not one conversation. So then I think, when you do all the conversations at once, there's a sigh of relief because it's done. Everybody knows we can move on. But there's also then a lot that the associate looks for in that conversation because it is my one chance to get a promotion, my one chance to get a good raise, my one. So when you break it apart and you separate out performance, and then, so we're having performance conversations right now. Then later down, we'll have merit conversations, and later down, we'll have promotion conversations. There's not so much pressure on one conversation. And then I think a lot of that anxiety goes away from the conversation because now we can really focus. Right. Now we can just really focus on how are you performing? What are you doing?
Sure.
What are your goals? What do we need to do next? Okay, now you've hit these things. Great. Let's talk about how much money that equals. Okay, great. Let's talk about the next promotion. But a lot of companies do it all in one. And I haven't really been in a place that allowed you that opportunity to really separate them out by months, not just by weeks, right? To really level set that. So you're having multiple conversations and it's not so much built into one conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I know we have to get into our next fun topic. I just want to leave people with a final thing about reviews. If you have a good leader who really is trying and is staying plugged in and loves to go to bat for you, then when you get to the end of the year, they should know enough about you to give you a valid review and be able to note the ways you've gone above and beyond or how you've succeeded in your role. But it's always good to keep a list for yourself.
Yeah.
Have a OneNote little tab or a sticky or whatever it is. And just as you do things throughout the year that you're really proud of, or somebody recognized you for, go ahead and jot it down. And that way, when it's time to do your own, self-review, I guess is what they call it. When you do your self-review at mid-year or end of year, you have those things you can just go quickly pull, add some context around, and there you are. And you're documenting your own, and your leader gets to see that. And like I said, if they're good, then it's just a reminder to them, like, oh, that's right. Because I don't know about y'all. Have you ever had to write a year-end review for 30 direct reports? Because I have. And it was churn and burn back then.
Mm-hmm.
It
was different. So
one thing too, if you're in this review cycle and you don't like your review and you don't like how your leader did, you probably don't have a leader.
Yeah.
And
true. You have a manager.
Make some other choices, right? I think that's the thing is you always get to interview who you work for as much as they get to interview you. Yes. So if your performance cycles aren't going the way you want, take the opportunity while you still have a job, right? It's always better to get another job while you got one, to really think about who your next leader may be. And it still may be within the same company. Maybe it's switching teams, right? Maybe that's what you need for your career. But if you're not getting that coaching and you do want to grow, you're going to have to find it elsewhere.
Yep. Because all leaders are not built the same.
No. And some people are definitely task managers. They're not leaders.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Speaking of leaders, if you've ever reported to me, I don't think I'm smarter than a 5th grader. As we are about to find out. I feel like I might get 2 of these.
Look, so we found out because Karami had this idea to do Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? By the way, I used to love this. But now Karami and I grew up in very similar situations in rural Georgia. So we are very familiar with Mr. Jeff Foxworthy. He's a Southern treasure and his might be a redneck jokes. But Rachel didn't even know what Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader was. And we were shocked. I tell you, shocked.
If I didn't know her better, I'd be like, have you been living under a rock? But she hasn't.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, Jeff Foxworthy. But this was like a great show. And it was on for a while.
Fabulous.
where they brought in fifth graders and then they had grown people and they would ask the question to the grown person and the fifth graders were the phone a friend. I mean, it was the fifth graders always knew more about whatever. It was so cute. I loved it.
Very humbling show to watch.
It was. But I feel like I've lived in some of the Jeff Foxworthy, you might be a redneck joke. Like you might be a redneck if the UFO hotline limits you to one call a day.
Yeah. I think I remember that one from back in the day.
Oh, you might be a redneck if you have a color coordinating rope that ties down your hood.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you are my husband and decide, because I got black duct tape to fix my Tahoe, it's obviously okay because it wasn't the gray duct tape.
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, we decided that for today's, or at least part of today's episode, we would like to play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Rachel didn't sleep well, so we graciously decided to let her be the host.
Before she on all these because her brain is not firing on.
It's so not
she
firing
is probably smarter than a fifth grader, but maybe not today.
I don't know that I'm smarter than a fifth grader. I appreciate the opt out here, and I will do my best game show host.
But remember, the game show host was Jeff Foxworthy, so there's not a high bar.
I just remembered.
I think that is a high bar, though.
It is because I love
like
him.
Jeff.
But
I think
Cassandra
really
knows how to just recall things. This is you have an unfair advantage. You could have learned it in fifth grade, and your brain is just going to reach back in the cobwebs and pull it out like that ashwagandha. What was that thing? Ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo biloba.
See. Okay, here we go.
You just didn't watch enough trash TV as a kid. That's the problem.
I don't know. I'm looking at these questions and going, I don't know. I don't know about
all right.
this.
See, I don't think so. I don't think I have an unfair advantage.
Listen, throw us some mercy ones in there here and there to keep our morale up.
Yeah, for real.
All right. I mean, I'm looking at these. I don't know that any of these are too merciful.
Oh no.
What is the sum of 11.5 and negative 14?
Why would you ask us a math question this early in the morning?
11.5 and negative 13?
Negative
That'd
14.
Negative
12.5?
12.5. No,
Negative
wait.
2.
No. What'd you say?
Well, I stopped because you were like, nope. And so I stopped.
Wait, say the numbers again.
What is the sum of 11.5 and negative 14?
Oh, negative 2.5.
Negative 2.5.
I had it backwards. I had it backwards.
Yes.
I was like, there's more in the negative.
But that's the thing is, you probably go the other way.
But also math in the air, which is what I call it when I have to look up and just picture the numbers.
I need paper. I'm the person you never had to argue with about showing your work. I got you because I'm writing everything down on scratch paper.
All right, here maybe another easy one, maybe not. What do you call a scientist that studies weather?
Meteorologist.
There you go. See?
Hey.
There you go. Now we're gonna go to one that, like, I'm telling. If you get this, good luck. Who founded the Red Cross?
It was a lady. Marie.
No,
something?
It's not Marie. Oh God, know this.
I don't.
Oh man, just tell me. We're gonna be here all day.
Clara Barton.
Clara Barton.
I have heard that before, but I wouldn't have.
And I knew it because there was like a
allegedly. She allegedly knew it.
I just couldn't think of it. It's fine. It's okay.
Right.
Strike
some
two.
of these.
One. How many?
Strike one. Well, I mean, we don't really count the first one. The first one was a warm-up question. How about that?
That's true.
Uh-oh.
True or false? The word 10 is the antonym of the word net.
True.
False. A synonym means the same and antonym means opposite. So that is incorrect.
I still don't even understand the question. I was just like, I got a 50-50 chance.
You're thinking of the what that actually is the one where the letters are mixed up and I can't think of what.
And you do it forwards and backwards. Yeah,
it's the thing. I can't think of
what was the name of what was the word you said?
10. TEN.
No. Is the what of the word?
Antonym.
It's
the
antonym. Which is a synonym is the same, antonym is the opposite. So
right. So how is it not true that that's
net
the
is
net is not the opposite 10?
Oh, I was okay. So not meaning the opposite as in backwards. Like literally the
No.
meaning is opposite.
The meaning is opposite, correct.
But I thought that was anyway. Okay,
That's a different thing in grammar, and I can't think of what it is where the letters are opposite. It's called a.
All right.
Okay,
Moving on, because you're totally going to get this one. How many bones are in the human body?
Oh, my wife would know this. She took anatomy courses.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I never had a single anatomy course in school. Why would a 5th grader know this?
That's what I'm saying. Like some of these,
because they've gotten ridiculous about schools, y'all. They've gotten
Exactly.
ridiculous about curriculum.
Exactly.
They're learning crazy stuff. Okay, I don't know. 1,000.
206. All right.
I don't know why you automatically assumed we were going to get that. I guess that means Rachel knew that.
No,
one.
I'm saying
I think
we
she
were
was sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
All right. Now this one, if you don't get, then there are no margaritas. Okay. This is for all the margaritas.
Oh no, I'm nervous.
What is the main ingredient in guacamole?
Oh, avocado.
My favorite food,
Exactly.
which is right here on this plate.
The staple that Cassandra survives on.
It's what makes my life every day.
See, there you go. There you go. What does the term IQ stand for?
Emotional.
Intelligence quotient.
Yes, intelligence.
Cassandra,
quotient.
get off of Google.
I'm not Googling anything.
Did you see how hard she was studying in front of her? Sus.
I don't know.
Something sus is happening. Hold them hands up like this.
Right. Hold them up. Keep them up.
How would I have Googled that fast? Even I can't type that quick.
Hey, those people in interviews, man, it's listening.
They do.
She doesn't care that much about winning, are you? Then
I do not. I'm not taking it that seriously.
All right. What gas do plants absorb from the atmosphere?
Carbon dioxide.
There you go.
Absorb? Oh, yeah.
Because they turn it into
oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Man, see, that's like those trick question things where you
really listen to the question.
Sit, and then you start second guessing yourself. Like, wait a minute, am I getting?
But I think it's several of these, right? What is the antonym? But again, because of the words they used, you thought it was is it spelled forwards or backwards? Is it the same? That sort of thing.
It's the trickiness of the question, not just what the answer is.
It reminds me when you're in college, right? And there's like 5 right answers on the stupid test for the one question, and it depends on how you read it if you're going to get the right one or not.
Or you mean like on the original Salesforce certification exams where it was like out of the 5 answers, 3 were correct.
Technically correct.
Yeah. What did the best practice guide say that nobody read because nobody does the best practice guide?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. This one is from my neck of the woods. True or false? Crawfish or fish?
False.
They're shellfish, right? Is that considered a fish?
No, they're crustaceans.
Exactly. False. They are crustaceans.
I am so annoyed that I played this. I knew Cassandra was going to be too good at this.
It's like playing trivia with Cassandra. If she's on your team,
but to be fair, I would look terrible stacked up against anybody. I knew I was going to be terrible at this.
Look, what we should do is go to a trivia night and record it. Now, that would be fun. But you know who we need to bring if we need to do trivia? We need to bring Mr. Kyle Goss. Kyle, remember, we were on an interview the other day and he knew something about Canadian football. And I was like, Canadian football, dude?
I swear, I think that man has a photographic memory.
And especially about sport.
Bring Jamie Rogers too. Anything you ever need to know about politics or the global world, he's got you. He's got 3 political science degrees, like all this knowledge.
I've got the random knowledge. Mm-hmm. Jamie's got political science and all of the
history.
If you want to shoot somebody and what happened 150,000 years ago. Kyle's got all the sports trivia. Like between the
and
3
I'm
of
there
us,
to be the cheerleader. I'm your emotional support friend that is hyping you up.
I'm like drinking the
Rachel's the one. Yeah, I was gonna say Rachel's at the bar bringing the drinks. Let's be honest.
Yes, like I'll write your scores down,
and you'll be able to read it.
Exactly. My penmanship will be on point, bitch.
Give us one more, Rachel. Just give me the chance to redeem myself before we have to go. Don't. Right. I mean, don't throw me an easy one.
Cherry pick it.
No.
Well, I just went to the next one on the list.
Okay.
Who was the first person to step on the moon?
Neil.
Go ahead.
Now I'm gaslighting myself.
No, say it.
Neil Armstrong.
You're right.
Yes.
I was like, it's gonna be the wrong Armstrong. I'm saying the wrong damn name.
It's not Buzz Aldrin. It's Neil Armstrong.
Unless
But I
you
also
talk to
have
the people who say
questions.
we never landed on the moon, in which case they'd be like,
Well,
nobody.
because I
But-
have questions, because seriously, who put the video camera
That's what
out
I'm
there
saying.
that caught
That's
him
what I'm saying.
walking? You know what I'm saying? Like,
We
it's
can't. We don't
sus.
have time. That's okay.
I
on next
know,
week's
I know.
episode.
Who was the first person who got credit first? He was the
That's
first person with credit. That is
Yeah.
But
globally
do I
known.
believe he was the first person on the moon? No. Do I believe we went to the moon?
I haven't gone down the rabbit
have
hole
questions.
myself. I've seen other people talk about going down the rabbit hole, and someone said that he has come out and said, I don't know if he really did because I haven't looked up the interviews with him myself, but they said he has said in his older age that it's all a crock of you know what. So I wonder if that's true. But
I feel a certain kind of way about it.
before we wrap up, we didn't mention that we hit 1,000 downloads. I know we posted it on socials,
Yes.
but not everybody's out there on socials like Rachel. So
I am on socials, just not on TikTok.
I mean, some of them, yes.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
we hit a milestone. We are so excited.
Yay. We really enjoy doing this, and while we're not making money at it or any of those things, right? We're just doing it for
Yet.
the love of we're just doing it for the enjoyment that we get from it, and we hopefully are bringing you some joy in your day. And thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us, and thank you to our guests for coming on and sharing us on socials. We appreciate all that, and we're so excited. I was so pumped. 1,000 downloads, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
thank you for the support that got us to 1,000 downloads, but also the support we've gotten in celebrating the milestone. Like, I've been
Yes,
blown away
yeah.
by like the comments and the reposts and stuff. Like, people seem to just be genuinely happy for us. So yeah, that's been
Yes, big hearts.
That's a circle. Let me fix that.
That is the circle.
Fix that
I was
heart.
wondering what we were showing people.
I need to go fix another coffee.
Yeah.
Wait, hold it up because this will be good for the
Oh, this would be
the
good for
thumbnail.
socials. Rachel, do
Goodness.
one. You gotta put it. Wait, where are we gonna put it? But my thing's in the way. Wait. Okay. Here.
Okay, there you go. Yay.
Okay.
On that note, any final closing comments?
Just thank you guys. I think,
Yes.
we all come in with this with lots of different things. You've seen life lately get in the way. Imagine that, of having some fun, but it means a lot when you reach out, and please reach out, because while we talk and we think we're funny and we think we have a good time together, we like diverse opinions. We like to know
We do.
what you want to hear, because we don't do this just for us. We do it for you. So if there's a topic that we can help you walk through, we're happy to do that. So thanks for listening. And with that, Caramy, it's time to take us home.
Yay, she's
Thank-
back.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Being here with us, we really do appreciate it. If you liked the conversation, please give the show a follow, rate, comment, share it with your friends. We are on socials at Coffee Meets Cloud. We have a website at coffeemeetscloud.com. It's been a blast. And until next time, keep your coffee strong, and I'll see you ladies later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.